Good morning. Today we will study basis and dimension. First of all, we will study basis for a vector space V over a field F. A non-empty subset B of a vector space V over a field F is said to be a basis for V if B spans V. That is, linear span of a set B is equal to V. Or in other words, every vector in V is a linear combination of elements of B. Secondly, B is linearly independent. So when we say that every vector in V is a linear combination of elements of B, it means that if V is an element of V, then we may write it as V equal to lambda 1 V1 plus lambda 2 V2 plus so on up to lambda and Vn. And if we say that B is linearly independent, it means lambda 1 V1 plus lambda 2 V2 plus up to lambda and Vn is equal to 0. Then all the lambdas, lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda n are 0. Here V1, V2, Vn are the elements of a vector space V, and lambda 2, lambda n are the scalars belonging to field F. A vector space Vf is said to be a finite dimensional vector space if there exists a finite subset of V that spans it. Means number of element in the basis set is finite. A vector space which is not finite dimensional may be called infinite dimensional. Notice that the null vector cannot be an element of basis because any set containing the null vector is always linearly dependent. It is not linearly independent. For any field F and a positive integer n, the set B consisting of the vectors e1n, e2n, en spans the vector space Fn over the field F and is linearly independent. Hence, it is a basis for Fn and is called a standard basis for Fn. Since the empty set phi is linearly independent and spans the null space containing only a zero vector and which is also singleton, therefore the empty set phi is the only basis for the null space containing zero vector. Now we will show that the subset B, which is equal to E13, E23, E33, where vector E13 is 1, 0, 0, E23 is 0, 1, 0, E33 equal to 0, 0, 1 of real vector space R3, then the set B spans R3. So to prove that the given set spans the vector space, we need to prove that every vector in V is a linear combination of elements of B. Secondly, B is linearly independent. Here we have a vector space which is three-dimensional space, and the elements E1 is elements of B are 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, which is nothing but x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Any vector in ABC, any vector ABC in R2 may be written as ABC equal to A into 1, 0, 0 plus 0, 1, 0 plus C into 0, 0, 1. By simple calculation, one may see that A into 1, 0, 0 plus B into 0, 1, 0 plus C into 0, 0, 1 is equal to ABC, because we will multiply the first term inside by A, second term by B and the third term by C, and then we will add the resulting vector and we will get the element on the left hand side, which is ABC. So we have shown that any vector ABC which is the element of R cube can be expressed as a linear combination of elements of B. which are 1 0 0, 0 1 0 and 0 0 1, or E1 3, E2 3, E3 3. Also B is linearly independent because lambda into E1 3 plus mu into E2 3 plus nu into E3 3 is equal to 0 0 0, implies that lambda into 1 0 0 plus mu into 0 1 0 plus nu into 0 0 1 is equal to the 0 vector 0 0 0. And by simple calculation, left hand side will be lambda mu nu equal to 0 0 0. And these two vectors are equal if the corresponding elements are equal. Means lambda equal to 0, mu equal to 0 and nu equal to 0. Hence, B is a basis for the real vector space R cube. Now, next we will show that the subset B1 equal to 1 1 0, 1 0 1, 0 1 1 also forms a basis for R cube. Because if we consider any vector of R cube to be A, B, C, and we can write as ABC equal to A plus B minus C upon 2 into 1 1 0 plus A plus C minus B upon 2 into 1 0 1, B plus C minus A upon 2 into 0 1 1. So any vector of R cube can be expressed as a linear combination of elements of B1 which are A 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 1. Secondly, if lambda into 1 1 0 plus mu into 1 0 1 plus nu into 0 1 1 is equal to 0, then lambda equal to mu equal to nu is equal to 0. Means all the scalars are 0. It means elements of B1 is linearly independent. It follows from this discussion that a basis for a vector space need not be unique. In first case, we have the basis 1001 basis containing the vectors 1 0 0, 0 1 0 and 0 0 1, and in second case we have the basis containing the vectors 1 1 0, 1 0 1, 0 1 1. In fact, corresponding to every non-zero vector in a vector space V, one can obtain a basis for V. Now we will show that the set B equal to 1 x square x raised to power n is a basis for the vector space of all the polynomials of degree not exceeding n. Let lambda naught, lambda 1, lambda 1, lambda n belongs to R. These are scalars. Now first of all we will show that every vector in V is V, which is here the polynomial which is here the vector space of polynomials P and X is a linear combination of elements of P, and secondly we will show that B is linearly independent. So first of all we are showing B is linearly independent. So if lambda naught into 1 plus lambda 1 into x plus lambda into xn is equal to 0x, 0x means 0 polynomial, and 1x, xn are elements of B. Lambda naught, lambda 1, lambda n are scalars. It means right hand side may be written as 0 because it is a 0 polynomial. We may write it as 0 into 0x plus 0x square plus 0 x raised to power n. And two polynomials are said to be equal if the coefficients of like power of x are equal. Means lambda naught is equal to 0, lambda 1 equal to 0 coefficient of x, lambda n equal to 0 coefficient of x raised to power n. It means all the lambdas are 0. Means lambda naught is 0, lambda 1 is 0 and lambda n is also 0 for every n. Therefore, the set B is linearly independent. Also, we know that every polynomial of degree less than or equal to n is a linear combination of elements of B. That is, the set B spans the vector space Pnx of all real polynomials of degree not exceeding n. So we have proved both the conditions. Hence B is a basis for vector space Pnx. Pnx is the real polynomial of degree not exceeding n. Next, we will show that every finite dimensional vector space has a basis. Let V be a finite dimensional vector space over a field F. If V is the null space, then empty set phi is its basis and we are done. Means we have proved that every finite dimensional vector space has a basis. So let V be a non-null space, which is not null space. Since V is finite dimensional, there exists a finite subset S equal to V1, V2, Vn of V that spans V. If S is linearly independent set, then we are done. Means every finite dimensional vector space has a basis. If S is not linearly independent, then there exists a vector Vk belonging to X, which is linear combination of the vectors which precedes it. This we have proved in earlier lecture also, this condition. So remove Vk from S and let S1 is equal to S minus Vk. It means S1 spans V. If S1 is linearly independent set, then also the theorem is proved. Means every finite dimensional vector space has a basis. If not, we repeat the above process on S1 and omit one more element to obtain S2, and S2 is a subset of S1. Continuing in this manner, we obtain successively S1 contains S2, S2 contains S3, S3 contains S4 and so on, where each Si spans V. Since S is finite set and each Si contains one vector less than Si minus 1, therefore we ultimately arrive at a finite independent set that spans V. Notice that this process terminates before we exhaust all the vectors in S, because if not earlier, then after n minus steps we shall be left only with a singleton set containing a non-zero vector that spans V. And this singleton set which we are left with will form a basis for V, and because each singleton set containing a non-zero vector in V forms a linearly independent set. Hence V has a basis. If the word finite is omitted, means there are infinite number of elements, then in that case also this theorem holds, and the proof of that theorem in that case containing infinite number of elements requires the use of John's lemma. The representation of vectors in terms of its basis is unique. Let V be a vector space over a field F. Let B is equal to B1, B2, Bn be a basis for V. Let V be an arbitrary element of vector space V. Now we will prove that V has a unique representation in terms of vectors in V. Let V equal to lambda 1 B1 plus lambda 2 B2 plus dash 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 lambda and Bn, and V equal to mu1 B1 plus mu2 B2 plus dash 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 up to mu and Bn be two representation for a vector V belonging to V as a linear combination of basis vectors. Therefore, lambda 1 B1 plus lambda n Bn equal to mu1 B1 plus mu n Bn implies that lambda 1 minus mu1 into B1 plus lambda n minus mu n into Bn equal to 0. We have shifted the right hand side to left hand side. And because B is linearly independent, therefore this lambda minus mu1 is equal to 0, lambda n minus mu1 equal to 0. It means lambda 1 equal to mu1, lambda 2 equal to mu 2 and lambda n equal to mu n. Hence, V has a unique representation in terms of vectors in B, because if we will have two representation as we have assumed, then we will arrive at the conclusion that these scalars are equal, means lambda 1 equal to mu 1 and lambda n equal to mu n, and in between all the scalars are also equal. Now, dimension of a vector space. If V is a finite dimensional vector space over a field F, the number of elements in any basis is called the dimension of V over F, and it is denoted by dim and then V. This is called dimension of V. It means the number of elements in any basis is called the dimension of V. The dimension of R cube is 3, since we have shown that 110, 101, 011 is a basis for R cube. Also, dimension of Rn over R is n. Since the null set phi is a basis for the null space 0, the dimension of this space is 0. Vector space which is not finite dimensional is said to be infinite dimensional. Now we will show that we will find the dimension of quotient space. Let V is a vector space over a field F and it is a finite dimensional vector space. Let S be a subspace of V. Then dimension of quotient space Vs is equal to dimension of V minus dimension of S. Here Vs is quotient space, and we had already proved in earlier lecture that Vs is a quotient space in which Vs is defined as the set of all the elements of the form U plus S, where U is an element of V. And we had also defined vector addition on quotient space V by S as U plus S plus V plus S is equal to U plus V plus S, where U plus S and V plus S are the elements of V by S. Also, we had defined the scalar multiplication as A into U plus S equal to AU plus S, where A is the element of field F. So now we come to the theorem. Let dimension of V is equal to n and dimension of S equal to m. Obviously, n is greater than or equal to m because S is a subspace of V. Let B1 equal to V1, V2, Vm be a basis of S, because dimension of S we have assumed to be m, so we have taken m elements in B1. Then B1 is linearly independent set of vectors in B by definition of basis. So it can be extended to a basis for V, that is B2 equal to V1, V2, Vm, B1, B2, Bn minus m. Because B is a linearly independent set of vectors in V, so we have assumed B2 equal to V1 up to Vm and the B1 into n minus 1. Here total number of elements are m plus n minus 1, which is n, because dimension of V is n. So elements in B2 are also n. Now we shall show that the set B equal to B1 plus S, B2 plus S plus Bn minus 1 plus S is a basis for Vs. To prove that V is a basis for V by S, we have to show that V is linearly independent set and B spans Vs, means every vector in V is a linear combination of elements of V. First of all, we will show that V is linearly independent set in Vs. Let lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda n minus 1 be scalars in F such that lambda 1 into V1 plus S plus lambda n minus 1 into Bn minus 1 plus S is equal to S. Here S is the zero vector of quotient space V by S. and this is equal to lambda 1 b1 plus s plus dash 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 lambda n minus 1 bn minus 1 plus s. This is by definition of scalar multiplication on Vs, and this is equal to lambda 1 b1 plus dash dash lambda n minus 1 bn minus 1 plus s equal to s. This step is by definition of vector addition on Vs. It implies lambda 1 b1 plus lambda n minus 1 bn minus 1 belongs to S, because S is additive group and S plus U equal to S if and only if U belongs to S. And it means lambda 1 b1 plus lambda n minus 1 bn minus 1 is a linear combination of b1 containing the elements v1, v2, vn, because b1 is a basis for S. And this implies lambda 1 b1 plus lambda n minus 1 bn minus 1 equal to mu 1 v1 plus mu m vm for some mu I belonging to F. And this implies lambda 1 b1 plus lambda n minus 1 bn minus 1 plus minus mu 1 into v1 plus minus mu m into vm equal to 0. We have shifted the right hand side to left hand side. But B2 is a linearly independent set. So therefore all these scalars should be equal to 0. Therefore lambda 1 equal to 0, lambda 2 equal to 0, lambda n minus 1 equal to 0, mu 1 equal to 0, mu m equal to 0. Thus only the trivial linear combination of vectors of B equals the null space of V by S. Thus we have proved that B is linearly independent set in quotient space V by S. Now we will show that B spans V by S, means every vector in V by S can be expressed as a linear combination of elements of B. Let U plus S be any arbitrary element in V by S. Then U belongs to V is a linear combination of elements of B2, because B2 is a basis for V. This implies lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda m, mu 1, mu 2, mu n minus 1 m in F is such that U is equal to lambda 1 v1 plus dash 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 lambda m vm plus mu 1 b1 plus dash 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 mu n minus 1 bn minus 1, where v is equal to lambda 1 v1 plus lambda m bm belongs to S, because b1 is a basis for S. So we may substitute lambda 1 v1 plus lambda m vm equal to v. So this becomes u equal to v plus mu 1 v1 plus mu n minus 1 bn minus 1, and this may be written as mu 1 b1 plus mu n minus 1 bn plus v, because vector addition is commutative on v. Therefore u plus s is equal to mu 1 v1 plus mu n minus 1 v1 bn minus 1 plus v plus s. We have added s to both sides, and this is equal to mu 1 b1 plus mu n minus 1 bn minus 1 plus s, because v belongs to S. Therefore v plus s is equal to s. So I have substituted v plus s for v plus s, and this is equal to mu 1 b1 plus s plus mu n minus 1 bn minus m plus s by vector addition in v by s, and this is equal to mu 1 into b1 plus s plus mu n minus 1 m into bn minus m plus s by scalar multiplication in v by s. This implies u plus is a scalar combination, linear combination of b. Since u plus s is an arbitrary vector in v by s, therefore every vector in v by s is a linear combination of b. Therefore b spans v by s. Hence b is a basis for v by s. Therefore dimension of v by s is equal to number of vectors in b, and which is equal to n minus m. N is the dimension of v and m is the dimension of s. Thank you.